Hi, hello Group 1 and welcome to this tarot reading. I am happy to have you here as a listener today. This is the symbol that you'll have chosen, the starry night at a desert or something of that sort. So today's reading, as you know from the title and the intro, is all about self-sabotage, how you may be sabotaging your life, your dreams, your goals. We're going to look at all of this, but I will have a couple of disclaimers since it's a big video. It's a deep video and a deep topic. So please, in this one, in all tarot readings, but especially in this one, be sure to only take the messages that you know are yours. And basically, if I tell you something that you don't believe in, that's not for you. And I'm going to be shuffling the cards today in front of you so that you can see the shuffling process and you see that the cards are for you specifically. And I'm going to be using the tarot cards in a way that will tell us what you should or could be doing, but what you choose to do instead, so that we can see how you may be self-sabotaging. And now please remember that the should and could, what you should be doing, it's always in air quotes. The should is like what would be in greatest alignment, what may be parts of your purpose, what the universe wants you to do, but you are a sovereign being, so you don't have to take these pieces of advice if you don't want to. So with this in mind, we can get on to the reading. Let me just adjust the microphone because I feel like I'm yelling into it. Am I? No, okay. All right. We can start shuffling. So for group 1, that shows the desert, the sand, the stars. What could they be doing in life that is for their highest good? And how are they self-sabotaging by not doing it? What are they doing instead? I want the cards that I will place at the top to show us what could bring you fulfillment, happiness. And the ones at the bottom may be your coping mechanisms. Okay, we have for you the world. It flew on us, as you saw. I just want to do it for a moment longer. One shuffle like this and we will be done. Okay. For group 1. Okay, y'all. That's the big moment. So, we have for you the world and the King of Wands. First thing that is already coming to my mind is that you're being asked to go with the seasons. You're being asked to trust life where it's taking you in general. It applies to everyone, but since you have the world, you are asked to connect yourself to nature, to cycles, to understand that life is cyclical. While the King of Wands is showing me that you may be exerting control and diligently micromanaging how things go. The King of Wands is fiery. Basically, wands are connected to the element of fire. And if you think of fire, maybe if you want to compare it to the seasons of the year, maybe you think of summer or autumn because of the color, right? But you certainly wouldn't think of fire in winter unless you're thinking of warming yourself up. But what element corresponds to which season? So the King of Wands stays the King of Wands. And that may be saying that you do not honor as much as you could or should the seasons of life, the seasons of earth, yes, but the seasons of your life too. Because we are part of nature. You have your winters too. You have your summers. You have your springs. You have your moments where you thrive. You have your moments where you withdraw, just like, bears. They withdraw in the winter for the whole winter season. They eat, they sleep, and they're gone. And then they awake at spring. And I would say that this is relevant probably to a lot of people So that could be a reading that resonates with a lot of people, because we are in such a society. You have to go to work. You only have sick days, but you basically have to go to work and be present, or at school, no matter if you're feeling good, depressed, if you're in your winter season or your summer season, if you're outgoing or if you don't feel like it. We still have things to attend to. So I believe that could apply to many people, and you are specifically asked to connect yourself more to the cyclical nature of reality. There is the law of rhythm at play within the universe for everyone, and everything has its place. So I would say that you may be sabotaging your life by expecting yourself to always perform the same. While you are not a robot, you're not a machine. You will not produce every day. You will not create every day. Just like there are years and months and weeks that are answers, others of them are questions. It's the same for you. Some days are creation, other days are inspiration, or even not doing anything at all, just being, allowing ourselves to exist. And I want to tell you, group 1, if you're recognizing yourself in these words and you feel like it's relevant to you, then please know that whenever you let go of control and let things just be, and when they have to, begin when they have to, go bad when they have to, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not failing. Because that King of Wands makes me feel of, a king has to be a king. They also have to perform no matter if they feel good or not. They have people that depend on them, and they cannot just disappear. So I would interpret it as some of you may be putting a lot of extra expectations on yourselves, but it's not healthy for you. But ultimately, what is interesting about this card is that you have a lot of clouds. The atmosphere, the air, seems very gloomy on that King of Wands. While he is here bringing the flowers, it's like he brought the flowers and tries to plant them during the autumn or winter season, and he's trying to force. So you may be sabotaging yourself by forcing yourself or others or your environment to be a certain way so that you feel like you are productive, like you are doing something. Now, if you're asking yourself how this behavior may look like in day-to-day simple scenarios, I will give you my own personal example, because when it comes to this instance that I'm talking about right now, specifically about these two cards, I can recognize my own behavior that I do at times. So not honoring the cyclical nature, like it sounds grandiose, right? And wanting to be productive, but it can be as simple as having unhealthy sleeping patterns. And this is what I have. I've been promising myself, sorry for bad English, for like the last year and a half that I will go to sleep early and wake up early, because I know this is the way for me personally. I'm not telling this is the magic sauce for you. Some people may wake up at 3 p.m. and they will feel great, especially teenagers. But I want to wake up early. That's the best day starter for me, and I still cannot find a way to do this. And I read once an article, a self-help psychology book, or I listened to it on YouTube. I can't remember, I'm sorry, but it sounds valid, so I'm gonna reference what I learned. One psychologist or someone who knows a lot about psychology said that staying up late, maybe maybe watching TV, or even by reading books, staying on your phone, doing whatever, this may be a way to recompensate to yourself the lost day. It's like when you feel like you lost some parts of the day, you may stay up longer, even though you know you have to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and you will prevent yourself the healthy sleep at night. Therefore, you will feel like shit in the morning and you will have less energy. Besides, sleep is regenerating to our bodies and to our minds. I notice at myself when I sleep well, like the 7.5 to 8 hours, my acne disappears, my skin is healthier, my wounds, like if I have any, they disappear a lot quicker because sleep is a natural regenerator. So I still self-sabotage because maybe like in the day I lose time by scrolling internet, or I feel like my university class was a bit useless and now I want to regain that time. So for me, I can see parts of this like similar behavior, like what I'm talking about may not specifically be you, but something of that sort may give you an idea of what this behavior may look like, that you want to be more productive with the King of Wands and not finish up the day. The world is all about endings. It may be as simple as ending the day, letting, this bliss, this honor, this gift from life come to an end. Like that's only 24 hours. I know that's only a day, but actually welcoming a day and letting it go be, a kind of a ceremony. I'm not saying to like go to church because of that. Anyways, okay, I'm blabbing right now, but that forcing things and that King of Wands literally may be as simple as you not doing things that your body is telling you to do, that it needs. For some of you, maybe for those of you that struggle with ADHD, maybe you prevent yourself from eating when you go into, like, when you start working a lot, when you go into the workaholic mode, or just even when you go to the divine inspiration flow time, you may prevent yourself from drinking water and basically doing the natural things that your body would be inclined to do if we didn't have all these artificial lights, all these sounds around us, all this like fast life that we're now living. So if it wasn't for this, what would your body want? And I feel like you're sabotaging yourself by not giving yourself that, if it makes sense. Something of that sort. You know what I'm talking about. Let us look at 2 other cards. We have for you the Knight of Cups and the Lovers. Okay, Knight of Cups and the Lovers. I wanted to say let me think, but like thinking sometimes is my biggest enemy when it comes to reading tarot, as it should come from feeling, not thinking. But y'all, can I be blunt and honest with you? No, please, if this message is not for you, then just screw me and this video. Please don't get offended, but I have to say what I see in the cards, because now I changed how they're organized, but basically the thing that you're meant to do, you should, you could, you're asked to, it would be good if you did, and so on and so forth, you know the drill already, is the Knight of Cups, while the Lovers is the thing that you're doing instead. In the nutshell, like the gist of what I'm seeing is you're stuck in an unhealthy relationship or in an unhealthy pattern when it comes to relationships or love. This may be talking about love to yourself, but I will first of all address those of you for whom it talks of love towards others, okay? And like if you're not into romantic love, this can be platonic too. Just remember that. Unhealthy relationship or unhealthy patterns when it comes to relationships. That may look differently again for so many of you. I will give you a bunch of examples. I see, instead of following what's truly in your heart, what truly inspires you, what feels like you're going through life with grace, you're choosing something based on the idea of love, or you do it for someone else. You do it to appeal and appear, to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. I'm putting these things after commas, so I'm not saying you're doing all of this. I'm saying choose yours, basically choose your fighter. You may be doing some of the things that I mentioned. It may be not acknowledging for some of you how you want relationships to go and being stuck in a pattern that maybe you saw when you were growing up. If I am meant to translate it to day-to-day scenarios again, For some of you, it may be that your husband, your partner is not the best person for you right now, and you're self-sabotaging by staying in this relationship instead of moving away towards something new. You know, the knights come after the pages. There's a page, there's the knight, then there's the queen and the king. So the knight is still it represents teenage energy. They're still on an outlook in life. They still are not sure what to do. They're exploring. And the Knight of Cups is all about exploring what brings you romanticism, love. It doesn't have to be towards people, and can for you be towards hobbies, towards things. And instead of letting yourself explore, getting to something new, understanding what's in your heart, you're stuck in a way of proceeding about relationships, or in them, within them, or about them. Did I already say about? So some of you may be stuck in a relationship and not moving away from it, and this is how you're sabotaging yourself. For others of you, you may not acknowledge how you view relationships. You can see that card. This card is super particular. The Lovers one, the one on the right, because I know they're in Polish, so you don't understand them. But I mean, unless you're Polish or you know the language. You see 3 people on this card, which is, I've never seen an interpretation of this tarot card like that one. And some of you, now please, this will be a specific message, but I just want to validate those of you that do not want to have conventional relationships. That is possible. Some souls do incarnate in order to show other people. Basically, Christina Lopes talks about the types of light workers, and there's the way shower. Some people are way showers. Some people are here to just show others how things can be done differently. Some of you, maybe a small percentage, maybe sabotaging yourselves, but not by not acknowledging that you want your relationship to look differently. Maybe you want multiple partners. Maybe you're asexual, aromantic, however you say. Maybe you don't want to be in a relationship at all. And instead of acknowledging it, you're sticking to this paradigm that you've seen growing up. Okay, now another message that is coming up for yet another group of you that may be watching is that instead of following your joy, your heart, you may be doing things that other people expect of you in order to receive love, in order to be understood. And some of you may be sabotaging yourselves by trying to fit their image of you instead of choosing your own image. And if you see these 2 cards, you look at the Knight of Cups and the Lovers. I mean, okay, this is subjective, like beauty is subjective, because I wanted to say, like, isn't the Knight more beautiful? The imagery on the card, and for some of you, the Lovers card may be more beautiful, but let's just look at the guy, the figure in the Knight of Cups. He has so much grace. He's looking luxurious, wealthy, confident. I mean, the energy that this particular card, this card in this deck exudes, it's just, wow, it's astonishing. While the right one, not so much. And some of you may be sabotaging yourself because you try to fit an image of other people in order to receive love. But this is only making you be less than you actually are, because you're capable of so much more. You're capable of going to another level, another dimension, of being something greater than you're allowing yourself to be. And this, because of these 2 cards, this is super connected to like other people energy. If you're someone that you feel like you don't have problems with boundaries or with relationships, with codependency and so on, I could read the Lovers card individually, meaning the Lover sometimes talks about choices. So yet another message for some of you, for a part of, the drill for some of you, may be that you keep choosing things not aligned with love towards yourself. It's like if you loved yourself, if you looked at yourself, how your parents view you, or if it's not parents for you, it's like a partner. Think about someone that you love and see yourself like that. And do you really make choices that are aligned with this version, this idea? we have this mountain. Mountains are usually difficult. They may represent stubbornness because you need to be a little bit stubborn and dedicated in order to climb a mountain, where the cups are flowy. So some of you may be sabotaging yourself by still choosing the same pattern, still doing the same thing over and over instead of going in a new direction. And this new direction, if this is for you now, because I've been giving many messages with these two cards, but if this is for you specifically right now, then I feel like this new direction would not really feel risk-taking. The cups are also very loving, very nourishing. It's just giving me this like sparkly magic water, the water that's been sitting in the sun and like people drink it and they say like, I'm now gonna be wealthy and happy. This is like the magic water that would make you what you want to be. Am I rambling? I'm rambling. But this like new direction or just slightly changing your course doesn't feel very risk-taking. It feels like if you did it, it would feel good. Maybe not at the very beginning, because change is usually uncomfortable, but after a while, you would literally be in your own element. That's the expression I was looking for. Basically, by these cards, you're asked to follow your actual love interest. It doesn't have to be a human being. Like I said, it can be a hobby, a thing. Choosing the truth, the true love that is always within you, always within your reach. And sorry for giving you so many general messages. They will all like coming through. If you want a private reading, hit me up. You have all the information in the description. But now let's see something more. All right, let us look at two more cards. Okay, we have for you death, and it got reversed by some magical reason, unless I am holding the cards wrong. Okay. And one more card. And it's the Seven of Pentacles. I'm pretty sure every single pile got the Seven of Pentacles, which is interesting because there are like so many cards in the tarot. So the death got reversed. Death in reverse. Seven of Pentacles. Like this death got reversed, even though all the cards in the deck were upright. So that's probably not coincidence. You know, I'm gonna read the death card in both ways, because if it were upright, it would go perfectly with what we have on the left with like the world, because death is again the greatest part of nature that there can be, the greatest proof of cycles, things coming to an end and then beginning anew that there can be. Like, you cannot, like, the universe is just reiterating what we already said with these two cards. So it's basically what we said with reference to the cards on the left. But if we reverse the death, it's not only about transformation, dying, letting go, and mourning anymore. For me, like, death in reverse has this meaning of like, do not let death cheat you. Do not let yourself, it's calling you, this card, what you could or should be doing is like, notice that death is not the ultimate end. It's only a way of things transforming. And it may be saying that some of you, how you may be sabotaging that, instead of understanding something about death, letting it be, letting the transformations occur. And death doesn't have to be, again, human beings dying, family, friends, people around you, and so on. This can be the death of your relationship. This can be the death of your life chapter, of your apartment, where you used to live, who you used to be, what you used to like, the past, just basically the past, what you experienced. And I see for you that you're being called to either acknowledge that or not let it cheat you, not let something coming to an end, to fruition, cheat you as like, oh, it's over and it's never going to come back again. It's sort of, yes, but it is going to come back to you in another form. But I see for you the self-sabotage is that instead of doing something about this death card, about this energy that I'm now rambling about, you decide to work it away. Basically, some of y'all that are watching, especially that symmetrically we have the King of Wands lying, some of y'all are just workaholics. Like, I cannot sugarcoat it for you. You retreat and even run away towards work. Now, work doesn't equal job. It doesn't have to be your 9 to 5 if you have one and you go there, that you run away there. It may be your hobbies. It may be what you do in the free time. It may actually be something that brings you joy and fulfillment. But if it becomes, like, anything can be excessive. Anything can be, there can be too much of anything is what I wanted to say. So even things that you do for pleasure can be a way of coping, can be a way of escaping. But this also has a different meaning, y'all. And I hope that if it wasn't for you, you still sticked around for this another message, because as you can see, there's something growing, sprouting from the bones, from the skeleton. There's growth happening. And you're asked by the cards to believe that growth can happen on its own. When things die off, it's the ants, the bugs, the earth, the rain, and then the water coming to the earth. It's all these things working for you so that the plant can grow. You don't have to do shit. But the 7 of Pentacles is showing me forcing again. You have a barren field, nothing happening there, almost nothing growing, but you still go there, you still keep going. And it's like I see you people sabotaging by not even believing that things can just happen for you. And you need to understand that you are interconnected with everything around you, with the elements, fire, water, earth, air. Some people say wood and metal also to the elements. You're connected with the animals. You're super connected with the food that you consume, with the content that you consume, with the noises and sounds around you, with the people you interact with. And yes, you are the creator of your own reality. You are the god of your own reality. You create your own rules, but you're still not completely taken apart from everything else. You are sovereign, but you're too much in the one. You're still part of one. So, because I feel like this reading is just a ramble, but how you're sabotaging is again that forcing, that working, that trying to make. This is a very masculine energy, trying to make things happen. And one more reading talked about a very similar thing. So if you were called to more readings than this one, you may want to listen to it, although it will probably be like banging your head against your headphones and just listening to the same thing over and over. The 7 of Pentacles may also say that instead of trusting the timing, because things die off when they should and they get born when it's their time, it's everyone's time sooner or later. And the 7 of Pentacles is showing me that instead of trusting this, you may have a fixed sense of time, like a fixed what? That's flipped. This is what I wanted to say. Flipped sense of time, or a flipped relationship to patience. Some of you may be like super patient to a point that you just keep waiting and waiting and waiting for things to get better while you go and work on something else. Others of you may be super impatient and you're just like, where is it? I have to go do it, get it, because otherwise it just won't happen for me. It's like your energy is showing me that once you're asked to just stay still, just be and exist, you may feel uneasy. You may feel like you're not doing enough. While you're sabotaging yourself by, and I'm sorry for sounding like a broken record, guys, I'm gonna change the subject in a second, but by not honoring the law of rhythm. Because that Seven of Pentacles is telling me that some of you may try to put in a lot of work, but you need to understand that when it's not the correct season, your harvest is not going to happen. And the King of Wands gives me because these are fire signs, right? Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. But mostly it's giving me, at least in this reading right now, it's giving me Leo energy. And Leo is a very proud sign. And I feel that from you is, you may feel that sense of pride when you do something, and when it doesn't work, when it even flops, you may feel like your pride is being questioned. While I really want to tell you, Group 1, if I'm talking directly to you, it doesn't matter what your efforts will be if it's not the correct timing for things. Like, you go out and want to plant a fruit tree. If it's not the right time, it will not work, no matter how much love, attention, and care you put into this plant. And I'm telling you this, I'm reiterating it like an idiot now, talking about it for the 1,000th time, because I want to save you from, that sounds such a big ego. I want to save you. I'm not your savior, of course. You're saving yourself. I just want to save you from the extra work. I wouldn't want you to overwork yourself and then feel guilty like you're doing something wrong. Why my efforts are not being accepted, understood, appreciated. But it's not about you. Sometimes things are not as personal. Sometimes it's not about you. It's just not the right time. You may always start again. When you, again, what you could be doing, there is that Knight of Cups. There is inspiration within you, and your own guidance, your own intuition may be screaming. But if you're not listening, you're not going to hear it. And I feel this is the biggest takeaway for you from this video, is that when you connect yourself to the cyclical nature of reality, you will connect yourself to your own intuition too, because you are part of nature. All right, Group 1, let us look at what beautiful things await you once you relinquish that self-sabotage. You come to terms with it, you heal, you reach a certain maturity. Weep. Wow, we have 2. Amazing. Thank you, Spirit. And they are in Polish. Please forgive me, guys, that they are mostly in Polish. I will give you some English cards, I promise y'all. We have co-create. Literally one other reading had co-create too. So, it always happens to me that these readings are super interconnected, because out of 52 cards, I'm getting repeated cards, and I'm not using a lot of these today, believe me. We have for you peace and co-create. So it's Spirit is saying that once you relinquish control, first of all, you're going to become more conscious and more aware of the life that you're building, of the canvas on which you're painting your life. You're going to become more at one with the universe. You're going to feel more at one with the universe. You're going to let yourself participate in this beautiful, intricate dance where you take one step and then the universe responds. And then based on what you feel, see, what your intuition is telling you, on the reaction that you see from your outer environment, you take another step that is in alignment. And this is how you co-create your life. So that is one of the most beautiful cards to get out of this deck. And then this one is pretty self-explanatory. Of course you cannot read that because it's in Polish, but it says peace. So once you do this, you will feel at peace. And that may be happening with the King of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles, with the trying to make things happen. There may be that energy of impatience, frantic feelings like something is not working out, I'm not doing enough, am I doing enough? Questioning yourself, questioning your choices. And once you let that go and heal it, you're gonna have peace of mind, emotional, mental peace, you know? And once you have peace within, it's going to show in your outer environment. So in your home situation, in your relationships, basically everything is going to become more harmonious. And I want to get a message for you from this deck, because it's such a beautiful one. Such a beautiful deck. I love it. It's gorgeous. I don't know the name of it, however, because I don't remember. But if you want any of the cards, just message me in the comments and I will always provide you with all names, links, etc. So one message from group number 1. Okay, and the card for you fell, and it's a door to the infinite. At my heart center, there is a door that leads to the infinite. Today, I visit my heart center and open that door. As I enter, I experience a deep sense of serenity, and I understand that I am eternal, that I am indestructible. From here, I can see beyond my life's challenges to the higher levels of my existence. I know now that my inner light is infinite. So it really reminds me of this Knight of Cups. Trusting your heart, trusting your intuition. What is it telling you? And not your mind. Not listening to your mind, your ego, what you should accomplish by now. Oh my God, I am 30 years old and I'm not married and I don't have a stable job. I'm a failure and stuff like that. Not listening to society's expectations, listening to yourself. Why your reading turned more into like advice from spirit than to self-sabotage reading. Y'all, if you want me to redo this reading and do it again, I'll be more than happy because I'm angry at myself. So group 1, I'm disappearing and thank you for tuning in. Have an amazing life and see you in the future videos. Bye bye. Hi, hello group number 2. Welcome to this tarot reading. Thank you all for coming to this video. It's gonna be a fun one today. Today you are the first group to be recorded, since I noticed that pile number 1 always gets treated the worst because I'm still gathering my energy. So group 2, today you're that group. And yeah, so how are you sabotaging your life, yourself, maybe your dreams and goals? I know it's not an easy video, but I think it's super helpful once you know and once you have that information. Please remember that if I deliver you any messages that don't resonate with you, probably they're not for you, but for another viewer. So trust yourself with this because it's a deep topic and I wouldn't ever want you to take something that is not yours. Yeah, so I see your symbol. This is the symbol that you'll have chosen, and there are stairs. It already reminds me of like climbing. So I feel Capricorn energy. If y'all are Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising, it's already your sign that this is your group, okay? So I have a bunch of decks around here, but first of all, we're just gonna use the tarot. And I'm gonna shuffle in front of you today so that you can see all of the, like, this is a deep topic and I wouldn't want you to feel like, are there people that think that tarot readers just like, you know, they lie with the cards and they pre-choose them? Anyways, I'm gonna do it in front of you today. And, alright, just had to adjust my microphone. Now, if I touch it, kick it, move it, and you hear it, I'm really sorry. Anyways, we're gonna be finding out what you should be doing maybe and what you're not, what you're doing instead of it. And now please, please, please take the word should in brackets, in parentheses, in citation marks, or quote, like air quotes. That's what I was looking for. Because should, like, there is nothing you should be doing unless you decide that there is a divine path, maybe a divine order that you should be following. You're the one that decides for your life. So the should is just an indicator for us. It's just a word. It's just a word, nothing more than that. Okay, so let's find out with the tarot. Today I'm actually gonna shuffle it a bit better. Well, group 2, that shows the symbol with the stairs, should be doing ideally, in order to get to their goals and dreams, their purpose in like the fastest way, maybe not the fastest, but the choosing the path of least resistance. And what are they doing instead? How are they sabotaging themselves? Okay. Ooh, we already got something. This is what you should be doing. And what are you doing instead? Thank you, Spirit. I didn't hope that they were gonna fall out. So we have for you the 5 of Swords and the Hermit. Let me just adjust them so that you can see them very well. Okay, cards adjusted. I'm back. So what I can tell you right off the bat, group 2, is that you are called by something higher, by the divine forces, by this card at least, to participate in social life a bit more, to spend time with others, and to, first of all, let yourself be seen. Now, the 5 of Swords is not very positive energy a lot of the times. It's difficult, but it's needed, just like all the other energies in the tarot. It's needed in our lives. It can be about fighting conflicts, but it's also winning at any cost. Sometimes the costs prevail. They're bigger than the price, but you're definitely being called to participate in this section of life. While the Hermit is telling me that you're secluding yourself and not letting yourself be seen, maybe spending time alone, maybe believing that y'all are just meant to not have friends and not be in the spotlight. It may also, like, if you're not recognizing yourself, because I just noticed that, the spotlight would be more 6 of Wands. You'll know that because I'm sure many of you read tarot for yourself too. So the 5 of Swords may also be delivering some negative news to other people. When you have to say something, for example, you have to tell someone the truth for the betterment of all involved, but you choose not to because maybe you're scared that if you say that, then the person will associate you with the negative feelings and not what you said, not the words, but you as a person. For others of you, it's possible that when something goes wrong in life, with other people, maybe you fight, you quarrel, there is a disagreement, instead of looking it in the eyes and maturely going about it, you choose to withdraw. Basically, it's funny now because I just look at the booklet to be like, just to have the keywords of the card, because I was like, yeah, every deck has different keywords basically at times. And it's interesting that your card, the 5 of Swords, has the sabotage in the keywords. Well, we're doing a video about that. But in a nutshell, you may be asked in difficult moments, especially as this is not positive energy, in difficult moments, you're asked to look a conflict in the eyes with other people. You're asked to say what is on your mind, say what is good for, what would be good for them and for you if everyone heard the truth, not to hide yourself, to even be blunt and straightforward. You know, these are swords. They cut through obstacles, through wood, and just basically through stuff. They are connected to the mental world and to the speaking out, to the throat chakra. So anything that's connected to thoughts about others, it may be in difficult moments of fights or speaking to them, you're asked to do this instead of withdrawing to yourself, instead of, the Hermit can also be like asking the big questions about life. So when that happens, for example, just an example, but if a situation like that arises, that you're asked to tell someone, deliver a negative message, it's not the best idea for you, if you chose group 2, to start asking yourself how to do it lovingly, how do I develop myself more in order to fit that situation? Because no amount of self-development and self-work is going to save you from fights in life. Basically, the energy of tension between people is what will happen always, even to the most enlightened, maybe not the gurus in the Himalayas, but we're humans and that happens. And in these moments, you're not doing anything wrong if you're participating in it. It's not a good idea to withdraw, start asking yourself how to better yourself, how to better life, how to answer the questions that you've been asking yourself, how to find out more knowledge and figure yourself out. So you need to stand up more, especially for what you believe in. Because again, the Five of Swords can be about winning, sometimes at all costs, yes, but you're asked to even try to win in such a scenario and not hide yourself. Do not hide the beautiful person that you are. So let us look at further cards. What group 2 should be doing, but what are they doing instead? How are they not participating in that situation? Ooh, we got more than 2 cards, right? So I'm basically gonna ask one to fall out, the one that we don't need. It's gonna fall out. Okay, we don't need you. We have for you the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Pentacles. This is fascinating, y'all, because you just have a card about not withdrawing, participating in situations involving others. And then you literally have that. If you know anything about tarot, you probably know why I am surprised. So, this is what, according to Spirit, to the forces that gave you the cards, what you should be doing or could be doing is the 8 of Swords. And that is like self-sabotage again. That is self-sabotage. That is self-bondage. That is feeling unworthy. And then we have like what you're doing instead. We have the 6 of Pentacles, which is like reciprocal, helping energy, helping others, being in the giving and receiving mode. What's coming to my mind is that whenever you feel this, you actually catch yourself self-sabotaging, you catch yourself giving negative scenarios to you, about you. You notice whenever you belittle yourself, you make yourself seem less than. With these cards, I would say that you may have the tendency to instead focus on other people's needs. Again, there is that running away that I see from you from conflicts with others. You may not know how to hold the energy of anger, of despair, of sadness that is directed at human beings other than yourself. I feel like y'all would be good at saying even negative things to you in the mirror, let's say, or to your mind. But it's not that easy for you to do it to others, to be as blunt, to be as straightforward. And the Ace of Swords with the 6 of Pentacles, it is giving me the energy of people pleasing. When it comes to y'all group 2, you see how similar these 2 cards are when it comes to the colors and the scenery. Now these not so much, however you have fruits on both of these cards. You have like abundance. And now what I can tell you is probably what would apply to many human beings, as we are not robots, we are human beings. I feel this like running away from negativity into positivity, which like we all do, if we all want to feel good. But I definitely feel that from your energy, from your cards, I can see it. And there is that energy with the 6 of Pentacles with people pleasing. When something goes wrong and you see this figure, they were brought to a precipice. They are thinking of jumping, of staying secluded. So when something goes wrong, I feel like y'all, again, instead of looking it in the eyes, you're thinking like, how can I make the other person feel good so that maybe they don't come at me, maybe they don't feel any negativity towards me? Like, how can I make this up, or how can I make this right? And instead of letting yourself be in the negative feelings, as this is part of life, you cannot escape from them, you cannot outrun them, they will happen still. Even if you're enlightened, even if you're Buddha, I mean, maybe Buddha not, but even if you're enlightened, according to me, if you're still human, there will be a moment of despair and negativity. And from your cards, I feel like immediately trying to make things right. But it's not like with that 5 of Swords, getting into the quarrel, maybe saying what you always wanted to say, speaking your own truth. It's like sweeping it under the carpet and trying to make things be okay as they were before. Yeah, honestly, I want to get like some additional cards when it comes to these two. All right, y'all, I got some energy cards because I was pulled to them, especially like I don't like using them as much. Somehow, my heart was like, yes, let's use them. So, what energy is present with these two cards? What energy is present for group 2? Ooh, we got something. We have allowance. Allowance, exactly. Wow. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way. Wow. We see, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. And that is the energy I feel like y'all don't have right now. Again, you're not allowing the energy of allowance. There is the running away from something. There is the not looking at something. And what you need is the to bridge these two in order to stop the self-sabotage. Like once you stop the self-sabotage, your life keeps flowing like water. You keep going with the rhythm of life, the earth, the universe. Of course, you still can have your own rhythm. You can still be a sovereign being. But to bridge that, you need to allow any feelings that come to just be. Any situation that arises to just be, without feeling the need to immediately start verbalizing your thoughts, use your words, and deem it as negative or positive. You never know if a situation when you feel bad is actually negative. Sometimes you may feel bad feelings for a moment, but in this may be the moment that you've been waiting for, with, for example, that this hermit. The hermit is like asking yourself the big questions, but once you allow things to just be, you may get answers. You may get the revelation. Like usually answers, growth, they come in negative. Once we go outside the comfort zone, you don't learn, you don't grow inside of your comfort zone. Okay, now I have one more question as to what you could be doing and what you're doing instead, because it's gonna look nice if we have another row here. So one more, Spirit, for group number 2 that chose the stairs. Again, you chose the stairs. I need to keep that in mind. The stairs also remind me, but there will be like 2 groups, since there are, many people watching. So one group of you may be that when you see stairs, when you see a goal, an achievement, you immediately feel like you don't have the strength to go for it. You don't have the strength, you don't have what it takes. It's like you give up right at the start. You're not even trying to climb the mountain. For others of you, it may be exactly the opposite. You try to do way more than you're required. You're just this perfectionist that tries to achieve more than they're even maybe not capable of, but than they should ever, because you're burning yourself out in the process. Okay, what group 2 could be doing, and what are they doing instead? Spirit. Okay, we have for you that. Wow, your reading is so weird, y'all. You have, again, this card, I would never deem it positive. It's more on a negative note, and you have it in what to do. Okay, now Do we want both of them? I think we actually want both of them as to what you're doing instead. We have that Ace of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. All right, I see for y'all something connected to finances or something connected to abundance, or how you deal with wealth, how you deal with your money, how you deal with the physical possession, something about that. There is again that message that whatever your finances are, they are what they are, basically. It is what it is. And y'all need to acknowledge what the situation is and not run away from it. No, there is one message I see from these cards, but it's like I don't know how to deliver it, and I'm starting to doubt myself, because you see in the Ace of Cups we have that flow of water, and then we have a lot of pentacles being in the ground, like the guy is just throwing things. Like this is, I know it's bird food, but it could look like money. It's slightly yellowish, and then we have all these pentacles in the ground. So usually the Seven of Pentacles, it would be an extremely positive card. You again have here, like in this position, in what you could or should be doing, you have more of a negative card, and here you have two beautiful cards. Seriously, y'all, you're giving me a hard time with this reading, but it's okay. That's how I grew too as a tarot reader. If I am to read it very literally, the Four of Pentacles is usually about hoarding money. You may be asked at the point of your life that you're watching it in, so basically at your current present moment, you may be called to keep your finances a bit more, to if I'm talking directly to you and you're recognizing yourself in my words, it's not the best moment right now to let go of your money freely. Let it flow like water. I would say that you're being called right now to keep some of it, so that there's basically some left. But I just read in a book recently is that when you're always saving money for a rainy day, then what message are you giving to your subconscious mind? That you are waiting for a rainy day. Therefore, your subconscious is going to manifest a rainy day. So I don't want you to manifest that. I don't necessarily see this in the cards. Since it's a Four of Pentacles, the 4 is a stable number. It's the number of stability. That may also indicate some of you may feel impatient with how you build your wealth, how you build your money, and instead of moving progressively, one foot in front of another, one step at a time, you may be looking into like new ideas, new inspiration to come to you in order to solve that problem. That is actually a spirit was like saying, yes, solving a problem is a good expression. Again, from your cards, I see, instead of looking something straight in the eyes when it comes to your finances, for example, and admitting, okay, this is how much I have right now, this is how much I can live with it. Like, I believe in manifestation too, don't worry. And I truly believe that if you live in your imagination, you keep affirming, it will happen to you. It will happen, and I believe you can achieve a lot. However, for some of you, that maybe you're living like you're only making ends meet, it's a good idea to acknowledge your finances in the present moment and not look in a different direction. Now, honestly, I am not an expert on money. So, Spirit, if you're not giving me any other message about it, I'm skipping these cards, as I don't want to say something that I shouldn't say. But I definitely see looking somewhere else, looking for something fresh, new, instead of working with what you already have. Trying to outrun the flow too fast, something of that sort. And by this, or for some of you, like I said, it's overspending. It's throwing money literally. And because of that throwing and overspending, the stability has a difficult time of finding you. Now, I want to ask for you, how does looking things in the eyes feel like, how you can go about it with these cards. Sorry guys that a lot of these cards are in Polish, but I really wanted to buy them in Polish. Again, we have that abundance of cards for you all. You're just like, you keep getting so many cards. So again, how does looking things in the eyes feel like for you? How could you go about it? Oh, thank you. We have here and now. We have freaking here and now. Are we surprised? Where do I put this so that we can see it? Maybe here, I guess. So you're only like the universe is. I feel like I'm banging my head against, I don't know, my desk, my microphone, and I'm saying the same thing and you're already sick of me. So I'm going to talk about this card only for a little bit. The universe is only reiterating what it has said to you already in group 2. You need to be here and now. Therefore, not in the past, not thinking of what happened, not in the future, being frantic of what may happen. You need to allow things. Card allowance. You need to allow things as they are right now. Will this feel comfortable? Probably. If your biggest takeout from this video is, and this is probably a thing that you knew, that I self-sabotage by running away what is in front of me, then it's not going to feel comfortable since you're used to that coping mechanism. But I want to leave you with a silver lining, and I want to show you what can you experience, what beautiful thing can you experience once you how to say that? Oh my god, I didn't even finish the sentence, but we already got a card. If you know Polish, if you don't, just go on Google Translate and check that I'm not lying to you. This says nowe życie, and in Polish that means new life. You can even check this deck and the card 39, you have new life. Literally, what I wanted to ask was what can happen beautiful if you let go of that self-sabotage? But I didn't want to use the words let go, since it's not really something to just let go. You can't just drop it. It requires consciousness, awareness, and a bit of work. A bit of and I don't mean also work like physical, going out in the universe, going out into the world with your masculine, making things happen. I mean work, like energetic work and consciousness work. This is what I mean. And you literally, y'all, I cannot believe that the universe is telling you that anything about your life can change. And I hate giving this message because I know it's super vague, but you literally will have a new life. You see that figure on this card? First of all, they have wings. They can fly away. They are free. Freedom is what you will have. Not only freedom from the self-sabotage, freedom from the chains that you have put on yourself years or months before. You will free yourself from the burdens that you are experiencing in your day-to-day life. You will feel light. You will feel fresh. You will feel like your life has started anew. When you look at this woman on this picture, on this card, she looks as if she's waking up. You may experience awakening. You may experience spiritual awakening. And as I'm saying this, I get such hot flashes, like hot burns all over my body. And I used to get it in my previous readings. And that always means that this is big, y'all. This is big. Now, I don't know if you're understanding it. You could be doing a million times right now, but you're in this video. It is probably a wake-up call for you because you can get a new life once you do this. And I want to give you a beautiful message at the end from the universe with this deck. This is such a gorgeous deck. If you want me to link these decks down below, I will. Sorry for doing it with the shuffling the card like an idiot. But I don't have space, my dear lord. Okay, let me just do it like this. Please, a message for group 2, for the beautiful group 2. That is, you chose the stairs because you are here to climb the stairs. I'm telling you, with that 5 of Swords, I know it's not the most positive energy, but y'all came here to hear that you will be victorious. You need to be victorious. But in order to experience that, you need to climb the freaking stairs. Will that be easy? No. But will it be worth it? Well, I guess. I mean, you're the one deciding, but okay, one last beautiful message. We actually got 2, and I will read 2 for y'all. So we have, return to the inner temple. Today I rediscover my inner self in sacred silence. This is the inner temple in which I am able to calmly study the lessons life has provided me. Here, I regain my sense of tranquility. I retrieve my trust in the universe. Based in the light of my inner temple, I now remember the value of each and every step of my life. Isn't that just gorgeous? Again, and it's under the card here and now, you're asked to let yourself be, first of all. Let other things be too, but let yourself just be. And then you have letting go. Today, remembering that God is within me and around me, I release myself to God's hands and regain my inner peace. I know God is providing me that which is most beneficial for my soul. I know that God is sending angels to help me face any difficulties that arise. I let go into God's will, knowing the best is yet to come. And of course, it's under the new life. Best is yet to come, of course. Y'all, literally, I feel like you're watching this video and 1 month from it, even 1 year from this video. I'm not saying that this video is life-changing. It's something you're doing. It's thanks to you. You are now in a point that you're surrendering to the universe's hands. And I want to give you one more card, actually, and that will be a money message, because there was a financial message that I feel like I didn't deliver as well. So I will give you one money card. Please give me a second. I know this reading was just super long, but bear with me. All right, y'all. I got them. One more message for group 2. Block out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. Here and now. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know that these distractions are... What? Oh, you already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. I will let that be a message in and of itself. Turn off electronics. Be with yourself even when you're bored to death. I always recommend sitting in silence, literally looking at your ceiling, and in silence, in peace, in quiet, answers will come to you. Therefore, have an amazing life, group 2, and thank you for tuning in. See you in the future videos. Bye. Y'all, group 3, I'm about to record your reading, but I just ate a salad and I'm about to eat this beautiful bad boy. And I wanted to say it, it's your sign to group 2 because I ate the salad before their pile, but I forgot. So it's your sign to eat something healthy. If you see this, start eating healthy or I will be mad. Okay. Hello, group 3, and welcome to this tarot reading. Thank you for coming. Today's topic is interesting, a fun one, right? It's not going to be easy probably because we're going to be looking at not such an easy topic. What are your coping mechanisms, basically? How are you sabotaging yourself, your life, maybe your dreams? I have a bunch of decks for you. This may be a longer reading, so if you do not have the time right now, I think it's gonna be like at least 30 minutes. It's gonna be detailed as much as it can, so please block 30-40 minutes in your, you can go on a walk and listen to it. You know what to do. Anyways, let us start. I didn't want to move you. Let us start with the tarot. And I'm going to be shuffling today in front of you so that you can really be present. Like, this is, an important, deep topic, and I just want you to see the whole process of shuffling and getting the cards so that you know they are truly yours and for you. Okay, so how we're gonna do it is we're gonna look at what you should be doing or could be doing and what you're doing instead. Now, please, the word should is not exact. It's not literal here. So please do not take it as, oh, if I don't do it, then I'm screwing my life. The should is in air quotes. It's just like an indicator, a helpful advice. Okay, so what group 3, and besides you chose the symbol, of course I didn't tell you, the symbol that you chose, this one, it has a kind of a beach on it. So I will take that into consideration. Y'all are hot. Okay, group 3, what they could be doing. What are they doing instead? So we have for you the 9 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. All right, group 3, what I already like about your reading is that it's easier to read than group number 2. It's very straightforward, the message. These 2 cards are telling me that y'all are worth of wealth. You are worth of having the things that you want. You are worth of being taken care of being provided for, of feeling stable, like you have things that you need that are necessities for you so that you can thrive and keep on living a good life. This is the first message, Spirit confirming to you that you are worthy of all these things. But instead, I don't know if this, either you don't believe it or you envisage yourself differently, but you'll work way more than you should. Maybe for some of you, it's your belief system that if you work more, you're gonna gain more, and by working more, you're gonna earn more money, something of that sort. I feel like you are a patient soul. You are hardworking. You are diligent. However, Spirit is saying that sometimes you need to work smarter and not work harder. So extra work is not required for you in order to achieve the things that you want. For others of you, if you're not recognizing yourself in these words yet, it might be possible that you have, for those of you that acquired already what you wanted, maybe you already are super wealthy. Just for those of you that feel like you reached the point in your life that you wanted, but maybe you're still not as happy, as content with where you are, these cards are telling me that it's because instead of letting yourself enjoy the fruits of your own labor, for those of you that even maybe your goal is 1 million, even if you still haven't achieved it, you did achieve something in life. I'm sure of that. There has to be something that you did that you're proud of. And instead of focusing on that, instead of savoring, is that how you say it? Feeling delightful about this moment, you're looking at another thing that needs to be repaired, worked on, that needs your attention. There is that constant look of where can I give my energy, who can I give my energy to, or what can I give my energy to, instead of just being and enjoying what you have already done and feeling like you need to put in that extra work. It's good that y'all are patient. Most of the time, this card is telling me the 7 of Pentacles is the card of patience. But you're just these 2 cards are giving me energy of instant manifestation. That instant manifestation is possible for many of you. And even if not instant, it's fast. Things can be easy. Things can be effortless. They don't have to require a lot of strength and putting up with something. However, many of you, instead of choosing the simpler, easier way out, you're giving yourself extra work. Now, I want to look at further cards. So what more, group 3, And you have that image of a beach. Maybe some of you, like, instead of, lying at the beach and feeling good about it, you don't know how to rest. Maybe y'all are workaholics. I'm not saying that about all of you, of course. What more group 3 could be doing, and what are they doing instead? I'm gonna get this one and one more. And this one. So, wow. Wow. Okay. Group 3. You have the Star, and then you have the Knight of Cups. The Knights are very masculine in their energy, very outgoing, very, just trying to force outcomes. Force maybe is not the best word that I could use, but just going out and making things happen. While the Star, for me, is the embodiment of the feminine. So again, you have that energy of y'all are trying to do more than to just be. Instead of being, you're doing. That is the biggest takeaway I have from your cards. Now, what I have to say from these cards, and some of y'all are not going to believe me, I already know this, but y'all are beautiful. Like, you that are watching group 3, you are truly super pretty. Like, you are a pretty human being. And both of these cards are telling me this with the 9 of Pentacles combined. So we have like 3 cards confirming it. And some of you don't see that. You're trying to perfect yourself, work on yourself, which is good. What I ultimately feel from these 2 cards, the message is not as negative as, oh, this is such a bad thing, such a bad way of self-sabotaging. However, instead of accepting who you are, where you are in your life, and that some things you cannot change, for example, physical appearance, unless you have like billions and you want plastic surgeries, but let's say that there are things you cannot change about yourself. I feel like many of you that are watching, you're still trying to. And I don't want to make you feel with this video like working on yourself, on your self-image, on your body image, self-concept. These are useless things and you should let go of them, because that's not the case. However, you are perfectly good as you are right now. And you don't need to change unless you truly desire. But just be sure that your change is coming from within, from a real desire, and not from feeling like you're forced to. Like you have to change yourself in order to fit something, in order to be liked by someone, in order to meet some expectations that were placed upon you when you were growing up, for example. As you can see in both of these cards, you have water. Now this star is a bit different than than how the star is usually presented in the original Rider-Waite-Smith. So usually you see the star taking water from a pond, from a source, from a river, whatever, and then pouring some back in. And that is meant to symbolize the ever-present play of cause and effect, of going in and going out, that play between yin and yang. While again, for you, the Knight of Cups is like only going out and giving the water out instead of taking something in for yourself too. Y'all are hard workers. That is coming again. And y'all are going out to make things happen, not necessarily allowing things to come to you. It's like you're trying to force instead of magnetizing and letting life just come to you. Maybe you were conditioned to believe that if you don't do anything, you're wasting your time, you're useless, and nothing can change. But you don't always have to take physical outside of you action. Now, the Knight of Cups, is a romantic card. It can be interpreted as a guy trying to win someone over, and therefore they are the Prince Charming, basically. While the Star is the card of authenticity, divine purpose, following your North Star. So there may be a possibility that for some of you that are watching, you feel like your authentic self is not perfect enough in order to get the love of your life. And you may try to romanticize other people. Like, it doesn't even have to be about love, just about how people perceive you. You may feel like you need to present yourself with this grace, put on this mask, put all these like super nice clothes and always have your hair looking perfect, always having the makeup, because if you don't do it, then people will think that maybe you're lazy or unkempt and just not tidy. You know what I mean? Like, I just get the sense from your cards. I know I'm repeating myself, so I'm gonna move on to the next cards, but I truly see this like trying sometimes to be something or someone that you're not, instead of just accepting that you don't have to change. You are as perfect as you, like, y'all. And I'm not saying this to sugarcoat you, because you could have gotten any card, but you got the freaking Star. This is the card of your North Star, your purpose, your authenticity. Okay, Veronica, shut up, because you're only saying the same thing over and over again. Let me move on to the last cards. Group 3. What they could be doing. What are they doing instead? What are you doing instead? Ooh, the cards became clumsy. All right, gonna take one more. We have the Seven of Swords. And there we have a lot. Let me take one card from these, and if we need more, then we will look at all the other cards that fell. Okay, it's this one. No, it destroyed everything. Okay. Wow, I keep on destroying it. And then we have the Knight again. You'll see this? Like, I cannot be making this shit up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for talking about the same thing for 10 hours. But I cannot be making this shit up. Even if I wanted to. Again, you have a Knight. In what you're doing instead. Like, I can't. Okay, wow, I see this. We have movement indicated now in your life. Whatever movement that can be, the Six of Swords can indicate leaving something behind, changing, choosing even a new place, a physical location to live in. But I interpret it more widely. I interpret it in your life right now as just moving forward. And look at that Six of Swords. This is such an interesting representation. Usually you don't see this usually you see like people on a boat already moving, like in an open ocean going to some land. These guys are not. They are waiting for their boat. Like, I cannot read it enough. And I can't speak right now. They are waiting, as you can see, for their boat, only looking into the ocean, making tactics, thinking about what's possible, and then letting the boat to come to them. And again, we have it paired with a Knight, going out and trying to make things happen, forcing things. You'll need to surrender more into the divinity and not try to control everything. But what I can tell you that the Six of Swords can also be a card of change. This is like a wind of change. And the wind is actually a good expression because the swords can be connected to, they are connected to the element of air, to the wind, which is always moving, ever changing. While the pentacles are super slow, they can be very stubborn. So I feel like y'all may have a difficulty with change. And you may stand in the way and be stubborn. When you feel like something needs to let go, like you need to move on, there is that inner stagnancy, like either this energy of, no, there's still something that I need to work on, there's still something to be finished there, or just something not going according to your plans, to how you want things to look like, how you want them to be. If I am to read your cards like overall holistically, I would say that you're most of all sabotaging yourself by controlling how things have to happen, either by you yourself going out and changing it with your masculine, or just with your mind deciding this is how, for example, I'm looking at these two, the 9 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles, like this is how wealth can come to me. This is the only way. The only way that I can get what I want is by working. And if I am to use my own example, for like if this was me, I would say the only way for me to gain subscribers is to keep posting on YouTube and making great content, which is of course obvious, but who knows, maybe there can be someone other popular that can mention me in a video and I will get subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't know, just the algorithm will decide I love you today and will promote my video. It's like with you there is this energy of fixedness. You may be fixed about how things have to happen, or like if I don't go, if I don't make it happen, no one will do it for me. And this reminds me of what my mom used to tell me a lot when I was growing up. Like, it was something of, like, I have to help myself because no one else is going to help me. She basically thought she was abandoned, and I kind of see this energy from you, not the same exact, not feeling abandoned. That is not what I feel from your cards. It's more like, if I don't do it, no one's gonna do it for me. And that is a limiting belief, group 3. That is a limit. Like, you can literally start with an affirmation as simple as that, and you can start saying, the universe will do it for me. I don't have to do anything. Like, you are asked to do only what you're inspired to do. You're asked to take inspired action. You see that you don't have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands would be inspired action, while the Knight of Pentacles is stubbornness. And the Knight of Cups for me is like trying to make an impression. Again, it's not working from your own inner desire. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm not making sense. I want to get these archetype cards for you. There are so many of them. And let's ask, what role are you playing? And what role are you asked to play? Now, I'm not saying, please don't get it wrong, that what you're doing in your life is bad and you should just change. That's not the point of this video. Like, what you're doing now, if you feel good about it, keep on doing it, please. Like, even if the cards say otherwise. The most important thing is that you feel good. But I still want to ask, like, what role you're playing that maybe, it's not in alignment with your highest purpose, and what role you're being asked to play. Again, like, what role can you move away from? What role can you play less? Because Spirit just dropped on, like, Spirit was like, nah, your idea is not good. And, like, adjust it. Okay, let me zoop. So what role can you play less? All right. We have it in reverse. Interesting. All right, so we have for you the role to step away from. We have networker, enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. And what role to step into? Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Taking advantage of those who need help. Failing to care for oneself. I'm right now in the interpreting mode, but what I can see from your cards, you see how they fit together so well with the colors. Here, the purples, and here, the greens. That is fascinating. So definitely the role you're meant to step more into is the healer, and you had it in reverse. Therefore, you had the shadow attributes, failing to care for oneself. You're asked to care more about your own needs. But like Spirit is saying, your own needs, not the ones that people made you believe that are yours. This networker enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. You didn't have it in reverse, so it's like the spreads fear and falsehood that doesn't apply to you. The only thing that it's telling me, it's like less focus about what people will think and more focus on what you truly want. what you want your relationships to look like. You're not like meant or even cursed to live the life that you saw your parents, caretakers, neighbors, and society live. You are a sovereign being. You can live your own beautiful life as you decided. I know there was the message to relinquish control, but now I'm saying about the life that your higher self wants, and your higher self is never forceful. It's always going with the flow of life. I don't know if I'm making sense, but the only thing that this is showing me, like, enhances unity through sharing of information. Maybe some of you feel like you need to share pieces of information in order to be liked by other people. Like, you need to give them something valuable. I need to provide people with something valuable. I need to show them how to take care of something. I need to help them resolve a problem. I need to give them a certain information about me, like how I dress, how I speak is also going to convey a message. And maybe I need to be in control of what message I'm conveying, and I'm focusing more on how others are perceiving me instead of focusing on healing myself and achieving what I truly want to see in the world. Ultimately, group 3, you know what I have to tell you is that I just saw 444, so that may be a confirmation for you of some sort. But what I have to tell you is that your self-sabotage, like for group 2, for example, I don't know if you watched it or not, but it was straight in your face. Like, it was big sabotage, and they have to change it if they really want to achieve their dream life. For you, it's different. For you, it's really different. For you, it's super slight. It's like hidden. And this is the problem, is that your self-sabotage doesn't even feel like it to you, maybe to others, to me as reading your energy and your cards. It doesn't feel like self-sabotage. It looks like trying to do all these good things and good deeds, take others into consideration and working hard, but it is sabotaging who you are at your core in a way. Of course, if that's been resonating, then in a way, it's going against what is truly in your core. And I want to ask, I want to see one beautiful thing you can expect. Actually, I want to also ask what you can do to help alleviate, to step out of the coping mechanisms, basically. So what can you do to move out of because I feel like y'all are such action-oriented people that you want answers. So we have for you, I'm sorry that the majority of cards is in Polish, but it is what it is. We have for you building blocks. This is building blocks. And we have for you the observer. They are very similar with their colors. So the message from the universe for you, group 3, is you cannot have a straight plan. You cannot have everything figured out from the start to the very end. You need to keep adjusting your plan and your way about going about life as you go. One step at a time, basically, one building block at a time, and observing life and then reacting to it. Basically, what is coming to my mind is human design. I know some category. I'm not very good at it, so please. But if you know anything about it, you can leave a message in the comments for other people to see. You will help them greatly if you do that, so thank you. There is a human design that they need to first react, see something in the world and ask themselves how they feel about it, about the one singular particular issue, and only then act on it. And something of similar sorts is coming to my mind with you. It's like, you cannot have a plan. I will go from A to B like this and be stubborn and fixated. This is the only way to go about it. You need to take one step. For example, I'm going to go from A to B by by doing this, by this means of transportation. This is all metaphoric. I hope it makes sense. But it turns out that it's canceled, or that you lost it, or that something happens that prevents you from exerting your plan. So instead of getting angry about it, you are asked to observe life and your reality. What hints is it giving you? And then change your plan accordingly. If I'm not making sense, then write me in the comments like, hey, Veronica, you're not making sense. And then I'm going to write you in the comment, like I'm going to reply to your comment and tell you what I mean. But this is the core. And I've been repeating myself so much in your reading that I just want to move on. But this is like a strong, like truly, believe me, it was a strong message from the universe for you. And then I want to ask, like, once you do this, once you implement all that we're talking about, what can you experience? What beautiful things are awaiting you once you do that? Okay. And again, we have two cards. We have clean it up. I hope you trust me with the translation. It's clean it up. And then we have for you co-create. And that is, wow. So with clean it up, you're going to feel like there is more space in your life, more space and more time. This is also very important. More time for other people, for relationships, for fun, for pleasure, for meaningful work. You're going to have more time, more freedom, and more space until also like mental clarity. Basically, I feel like once you do this, you may also notice that your physical environment, everything around you is becoming cleaner, more organized. But not because you're organizing it, not because you are controlling it, but because it's resolving itself. It's like you all need to believe that things can resolve it themselves and you don't always have to act. And then the second thing is that you have that co-create card, which is it's one of the most beautiful cards from the deck because it talks about conscious creation of your dream life. The co-create is, again, you taking one step, but not having the full plan. You taking one step, then the universe responds, gives you the equivalent of what you've been desiring, of what you gave into the world. It gives you the equivalent, or it gives you even better. It gives you like threefold what you gave from yourself, from your part. And then again, you take the step. It's like a dance. You take one step in the tango and then the universe takes another step. And this is how you build from the building blocks of your dreams. You build the beautiful painting of your dream life. You don't build a painting. I know that, but you're gonna build the castle of your dreams. You know what I mean? You have a freaking concrete. Thank you. And let me take one more card for you. This is like that was fast. A message from the universe for you. And we have beyond. And again, you have all these like purple colors. What I can tell you is that y'all need to work on your upper chakras a lot more. I feel like y'all are living in some of you at least. Like, don't take this message again if you feel like it's not for you. But some of you live in your lower chakras, in your root, in your sacral, basically in the survival mode, trying to make things happen instead of living in the crown chakra and believing that you are connected and things will always happen for you. You didn't have to do anything in order to be born. So you have that card beyond, and it says, today, I lift my consciousness above all worldly illusions. I remember the power I have in every situation. I always have a choice in how I respond. Today, I choose to turn my thoughts towards God, or the universe. By focusing my awareness beyond the illusions of the material world, I experience simplicity and peace. Simplicity and peace. Cleaning, like clarity. This is what's awaiting you, group 3. So you have that next to the observe. Remember that not everything you observe is true. And let yourself feel more into the spiritual realms of the reality around you. Have an amazing life. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next videos. Bye.